Mel Hopkins, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Leo.
Look, is this the most challenging time you've ever had in your marketing career?
I don't know if it's the most challenging. I'd say it's probably been the most unusual, and we've had to be the most innovative. But I've probably had personally more challenging times in marketing.
Yeah. Talk to us about Optus's response and how that has evolved over the last few months, because you are an industry or a company in an industry that is pretty fundamental to keeping things going, especially now with reliance on working from home and homeschooling, data, and people just needing to watch more telly at home, for instance.
Yeah, no, look, absolutely. I think for us, we, as you've touched on, very much see ourselves as part of the key infrastructure in keeping Australians connected during this period, and ensuring that we demonstrate that we are there with Aussies is more important than ever in what is quite a heightened time, and their reliance on our services is there even more. So I think the thing I'm probably most proud of what we did is we've sort of gone out with action, and that action is we were first to market to give all of our mobile customers an additional 20 gig of data if you're postpaid, or 10 gig if you're prepaid for free. We have offered some amazing financial hardship packages. We are the only ones actually in the market that gifted 3 months free to all healthcare workers, and that is our base and new to join, and that response has been pretty remarkable and spectacular. And then I think building on that, we have had to pivot with our call centres and onboarding a whole lot of new staff, and many of those individuals have come from some of the industries like Virgin that have been hit in Australia. So as an organisation, incredibly proud of us acting and not just talking.
What about managing this huge demand on data and your network in this time, Mel? What have those challenges been like? And has the network held up? Because there has been complaints, not just against Optus but others, about the ability of the network to hold up at the moment.
Yeah, so look, I think that's it's a good point. I am delighted to say that our network has been really resilient. The load on our network is sort of pretty much running at peak time throughout the entire day, and we're seeing both in fixed and mobile great, strong resiliency there. I think there are bumps, and we've got a team that are working through certain areas where we've sort of had to tighten bits and pieces. But I think for us, and it's not a surprise, but very much our focus and investment has been building a very resilient network where people need it. And it's really stood up and potentially stood up a little stronger than some of our competitors. So I think that's sort of testament to our network engineers.
What about your specialty, of course, being the CMO? Marketing, it's a challenge at the moment because people are really just looking for fundamentals, probably not a lot of news spend outside of fundamentals. But how do you kind of manage this challenge in marketing at the moment for Optus, especially when the array of other offerings such as sport just aren't there at the moment?
Yeah, well, look, I think this is what and why I say it's probably not the most challenging time, but exciting time, because I think we've just had to be more creative. As a brand, we're a utility, and people expect us to be there as a utility. So we've gone and hunted down, I guess, where our consumers are sort of watching media and what that consumption is. And then we've sort of had a real good look at their need states and their mood they're in, and the role we play there. And that's resulted in some of the campaigns that we've gone out with in sort of the past few weeks over COVID, continuing to push some amazing programs that were always slated, like Donate Your Data. And in the case of things like sporting events, we're partnering. We've got array of sporting partners, we're with them, and we hope that they'll come back. But I think the right brands are the ones that work out where they're relevant and where people want to receive the message from them.
What have been the most effective marketing channels for you in this crisis, do you think? Have you had to, obviously you changed some of your spend in the market, but what has been most effective?
Yeah, so it's probably, dare I say, moving back to more traditional channels. So, you know, news on free to air and also in print and digital has just sort of skyrocketed. We are investing, you know, we've been doing a lot of full page press ads. We've got a door drop going out because actually what we've understood is just looking at where consumers are watching their media and what's important for them. TV and free-to-air TV during this period is incredibly important to us as a channel. And I guess for me, the most interesting thing with our media partners, many whom have been severely hit during this period, is just how innovative they've been in partnering with us and willing to do things that are quite different in getting our message across.
Mel Hopkins, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.